Hey there, everybody. Vernon here, and welcoming all clarity seekers to yet another episode of Clarity Edge, where we push out pro tips for business development and growth.
Vernon here, and welcoming.
Today, we will help people achieve clarity through simplicity and ultimately achieve profitability. Now, if you're tuning in for the first time, please do comment and let me know if you can hear me and what I am saying. Right? So a little bit about ourselves, what do we do here? Essentially, Clarity Edge is a weekly program where I will be broadcasting live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. All right, where we will be talking about different concepts, different ideas, and normally it comes from different things that I actually talk about during my week-long consultation sessions with my clients. Sometimes I do encounter interesting ideas that I feel the rest of the world should know, and here we are sharing about these ideas. Now, what are we talking about today? Today we'll be talking about inspiration and motivation. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so what does it mean to inspire? We talk about the origin of motivation and how to blend them. And as usual, my favorite, the pro tip session. Now, how did this topic come about? Okay, this topic comes about because as I do my weekly sessions with my clients, we end up talking about all sorts of different things, different ideas. Generally, we all come down to the same point, which is how do I get people to act in a way that I want them to act. Now, whether or not it's getting my clients to buy a particular product or service, getting my team members to do a particular thing or not a particular thing, or stop doing something, we want to inspire them to action instead of just telling them what to do. Now, this naturally comes down to a conversation about inspiration and motivation, and more often than not, we always end up interchanging these two words, treating them as the same, ultimately not being able to, correctly calibrate this concept. So yeah, we're here to talk about that today. First section, dun, dun, dun. What does it mean to inspire? Now, this is a not easy question to answer because some words are out there so often that it has come to mean so many different things. We might not even, when a word comes, when a word reaches a state, right, where it means so many different things, it has come to mean nothing, right? So inspiration or inspire is one of those words. And when we talk about inspiration, somehow people weave together the word motivation in as well. So often than not, it sounds like the same thing. After today's sharing, you will have a very clear understanding of the difference between the two. And you will also appreciate how you can leverage on these two concepts to achieve your business objectives as well as your personal or professional objectives. Okay, so what does it mean to inspire? Okay, basic, all right. First, inspire is a verb, all right? It's an activity. It's like to go for a run or to hit, or to slap, or to take a shower, right? It's an activity, it's a verb, something that you do. Okay, that's the basic. Inspiration is a noun, right? So inspiration means it's a thing, like what is your inspiration, okay? Like what is the model of car that you drive? So that is like a noun, it's a thing by itself. So understand that they are different, okay? Now, fundamentally, how I understand the word inspiration, okay, I actually use the concept of idea, okay, idea. What does that mean? Okay, let me just give you my definition, right? Very directly. Okay, to inspire is to give someone an idea designed to appear possible for them. There are two parts to this definition. First is you have to give somebody an idea. So if I speak to you about something and suddenly you find, hey, you know what, I think I should do that too, that's me inspiring you. but you will not absorb this idea or adopt this idea or own this idea if you believe this idea is beyond your reach or beyond your realm of possibility, right? So for example, if I say you want to get a good job, make sure you dress extremely provocatively and go for the interview, and the boss will hire you simply because you are dressed extremely provocatively. Now, if you are an unattractive individual, you will not think that this comment will not inspire you, because even though I dress provocatively, okay, to my interview and I get my job, you don't think that you can do it because you don't look like me, for example, okay? That would inspire you because you don't think it's possible. So it's very important, ladies and gentlemen, when we communicate an idea out there to people, not only must we explain the idea or tell them about the idea, it has to be presented in a way, or it must be resourced to them in a way that it appears that it is possible for them. Okay? So that's what I mean by inspiration. Okay? So you have to give someone an idea designed to appear possible for them. Now I use the word, I choose my words very carefully. Okay, so designed to appear possible for them. Now, whether or not the idea is possible or not, it has to be designed to be it has to be designed to appear possible. Now, a lot of concepts and ideas are very possible, but due to the listener's perspective, is not. So even though you know for a fact that it is possible. So you have to present it in a way that it appears possible. Now, if you frame it in such an impossible way, or frame the idea in such an impossible paradigm, naturally they won't be inspired, because they'll be like, you know what? You can do it, Manan, because it's you. Because you are a man, because you are Chinese, because you have a university degree. I am neither of those things, and therefore I cannot do it. Yeah, sorry, man. Yeah, mute your phone, kids. Okay, so that's the understanding. Now, if you want to find out more about these concepts, okay, about how to frame ideas and stuff like that, you can check out my YouTube channel, where I have many videos uploaded there. I also have short 5-minute videos that you can check them out as well. And please do subscribe to my private Facebook page, Clarity Edge, where I will just randomly upload stuff there. I just don't want to spam your wall and your feed. Okay, so only if you are seeking clarity, then I would encourage you to drop it. Okay, those channels. Okay, so understand. Okay, to inspire is to give somebody an idea designed to appear possible for them. Now, who would you consider a very inspirational person? Some would say Steve Jobs. Some would say Richard Branson. All these big names, very inspirational individuals. They're very inspirational because they give us a lot of ideas, or specific ideas, and they make the ideas sound like we too can embody those virtues and values. So let's look at one of my favorite inspirational characters of the Mr. Jack Ma. I understand these days he might not be necessary as well known or well perceived as in the past, considering he recently had some interesting interactions with the Chinese government. But nonetheless, he is an inspirational individual. So let's look at one of his most famous sayings. Before you are 30, work for a small company, learn passion, and learn to dream. Now, naturally, it is presented in this way because, firstly, he's trying to give us an idea, right? The idea is don't work for money at the start, work for ideas, passion, and possibilities. More importantly, the idea is presented to us in such a way that most of us who are under 30 can actually do this. We can actually lower our so-called expectation and pay in such a way that we will work for small companies, so we learn about these more intangible values. All right, so this is an example of what I would consider as an inspirational statement. Jack Ma is an inspirational person because he continuously pushes the concept that you and I all should do an e-com business, or aspire to be a small business owner and impact people's lives from the ground up, right? So when it comes to inspiration, okay, here are some tips. Firstly, present the ideas in a way that audiences can understand. Don't be smart, be relatable and simple. Don't use bombastic terminologies and words with incredible amount of jargon, or words that have incredible amount of syllables, words that require you to be a very learned university or master degree or PhD to understand. Your words should be simple, easy to understand, direct. Basically, written for humans, okay? Not written for specialists, not written for very learned or educated people. It should be written for human consumption, not for refined consumption, right? Generally speaking. Be relatable. Now, appearing smart is not very recommended as a communicator. You should appear credible, sincere, relatable. These are the values that you want to embody as a business person. Okay, not egomaniac, smarty pants that knows more than everybody else, but yet you just put yourself in a bad position. Just be simple. I mean, simple, not a simple-minded person, but your communication should be simple. Now, how do you make your ideas more inspirational? You should show them proven paths to success or strategies for success. You should strive to present your information in such a way that it looks good. Is not the right way of not the right choice of words, but show people a path, right? Don't just talk about the wonders of health and the wonders of being slim and whatever, you have good BMI or whatever, and then just leave it at that and say you should do it too. Just give me an idea, direction, right? Jack Ma was very clear. Work for small companies, right? Of course, he don't need to tell you exactly how to get a job for smaller companies. He just gave you a direction. He has chosen a direction that is applicable for everybody, that everybody can do, right? He shouldn't say, find a mentor that you wish you had if you didn't have a mentor. That'll be extremely convoluted and too smarty pants, right? So don't do that, okay? Okay, next, the origin of motivation. Dun, dun, dun. Now, when it comes to inspiration versus motivation, you have to understand inspiration starts from an idea, right? Inspire an idea. Oh, I can do it too. I should consider that. That's a great idea, right? So that's inspiration. Now, motivation is the word itself tells us a little bit about its meaning, right? Motivation. The word emotion, there's what motion, right? So motivation, right, is all about getting people to move, okay? Inspiration gives people an idea, but it doesn't necessarily get them to move, if that makes sense. So Jack Ma can explain to you this and tell you this, work for somebody below 30 or something like that. But you can say, you can afford to work for whoever you want under 30 because you're rich. People can come up with this kind of defense or objection or argument. You can do that because you're rich. Or because you are whatever. You can do it because you, not me. I'm nobody. I cannot, right? So that's not the way. Now, next thing you must understand about motivation is motivation can be stopped or redirected. Motion, can be stopped or redirected. I mean, for sure, right? If a ball is rolling along the pavement, you can kick the ball somewhere else, you can stop the ball, or just gravity alone will deny it, right? So what do we learn from this association? What insight can we gain from this association? What it tells us is that gravity is the enemy of forward motion, or any motion for that matter. So basically, if somebody is very motivated, all you need to do is just don't do anything. You just stare at the guy, put the guy in a room. Over time, his motivation will just evaporate. So motivation, okay, what does it mean? Okay, what does it mean? It means that motivation, right, is only useful at the moment it was generated. Now. Okay, that's motivation. Okay. If you think that this guy will be motivated forever, right? You're dreaming now. Okay, that's not how motivation works. It's like saying that somebody is happy forever and whenever you feel sad. It doesn't work that way. It's emotion, it's flexible, it's dynamic, it's gravity consistently pushes it down. Right. So understand the nature of, you can't say that this guy is a very extremely motivated guy just because he's no, there's reason, he has strategies and tools behind him that makes him such a motivated person. Right. Let me just take me doing this podcast as an example. Not podcast, we do this sharing, right? So I do this every week. Am I very motivated to do this? Well, I am doing it, right? So I am delivering the results and the consistency of doing it, right? The result is me doing it, right? So that's the result. It's happening. Now, why I do it, what's my motivation behind it, is another question. So I don't reveal this, right? So nobody knows my motivation behind doing this. Now, what inspires me to do it is, for example, Simon Sinek, right? So I see him do his book clubs and his talks and his sharings online. So he inspires me, gives me the idea, and makes me think that I too can do it because I have the tools, right, to do it. So I think I can do it, so I do it. But what keeps me going every week is another question completely. Simon Sinek is not the reason I keep going every week. Simon Sinek gave me the idea that I can do this, but he doesn't inspire me, also doesn't motivate me every week to do this. So understand that motivation is a depreciating thing. It just evaporates by itself. However, there are ways to manage this, but this is not a motivational course. So if you want to find out how to do that, you got to come and chat with me privately or have a coffee and we will discuss about that. But that's not today's topic. Discipline is drawn from willpower. Just understand this. Normally, when you're very motivated, you need discipline to continue your particular action. Like me, for example, doing this talk show every week, there is motivation at the beginning to make a decision to do it, but there is discipline that actually keeps me doing it. So discipline is drawn from willpower. You have to understand, okay, willpower is a limited resource, okay, meaning it will finish. All right, it will dry up. Okay, there are ways, all right, to work around this. There are ways to remain a motivated, driven, inspiring, and passionate person. There are instruments, there are tools, there are strategies. But again, not the topic for today's session. If you want to find out more, you can PM me and I can share with you more in person. Now, if you want to motivate, okay, how do you motivate people? Trick question, huh? Share stories of great suffering. Okay, one of the best ways to motivate people, okay, is to share stories of great suffering. Now, if I am a successful person today, I live in a big house, drive a fast car, whatever, and I have all the trappings of success, and you found out that I either inherited all of this or I had tremendous help at the beginning, such as my father lending me $10 million to start my business, you wouldn't be too impressed or you wouldn't be too motivated by my story. In fact, you might think of spitting in my face and slapping me because I'm rubbing my advantage in life in your face. Okay, so you're not too happy with that, right? So again, one of the best ways to motivate people is to tell stories of great suffering. Great suffering of who? Yourself, obviously. Shed light into the terrible starting point that you have and the limited resources that you have, and how you, through your own hard work, mentorship from other people, resilience, and creative thinking, manage to leverage what little you have. Okay, you play your hand well, okay, and you achieve whatever you need to achieve, right? So that's a good way to motivate people. And when you tell people that story, what's going to happen is that they're going to have this magic sentence in their mind. This magic sentence is, oh, if he had it so bad at the start, and I have so much more when I started, I can do it too. I mean, if he had to go through all of this and he still can reach the stage he is today, I didn't have to start in such a terrible position as him. I surely can at least achieve his level of success. Okay, just remember, motivation is an emotion, whereas inspiration is more of a cognitive thing. Like, oh yeah, it's a good idea, I should do it. I'm inspired to do my own podcast, right? Oh, Vernon wrote his own book. I'm inspired to write my own book too, right? Because he showed me that an average guy can also be an author. I'm inspired. Let me write my own book. Something like that, okay? So just for you to understand, motivation comes without a plan or strategy. It's all about a single action at a single moment. So you can be very motivated at that point of time to place a down payment for a property, go into an investment, sign up for a course, buy a particular product, buy a particular thing, sell a particular thing, approach the girl of your dreams, approach the guy of your dreams, whatever. That's motivation, right? But that's different from inspiration. Inspiration is an idea. Okay, just understand the difference. All right. Now, how do we blend them together, guys? How do we blend them? Because the reason why people are very confused by this, right, is because great speakers blend both motivation and inspiration together. When they deliver their speeches, deliver their presentation, their PowerPoint, their sales pitches, or whatever, they actually blend both motivation and inspiration together. Now, okay, this part is the juice of this presentation, okay? So first, start with a show of credibility. Firstly, okay, guys, today, normally your MC introduces you if you're in a public speaking environment, or if you're in a sales environment, you have an opportunity to introduce yourself. You just explain to them, hey, I'm well known, I'm big, I'm good because I do A, B, and C, and D. I do a bunch of stuff. These are the things that I do. This is my show of credibility. Okay, I've done these things, these are things I do, I'm actually known for this. I'm hired by him or her. I achieve this number of results for. So it's a general standard stuff. You just show your credibility. Next, you insert a motivational story or a struggle or limited resource to create an inertia to act. So I'll tell a story, for example, hey, when I started, it was this, or when that client started, he only had this, only got 2 employees, 0 office, whatever. And given the little stuff, little resources, with my product, service, idea, plan, or whatever, he's managed to go through overcome all of these things just by applying it well, meeting me regularly, being engaged regularly, and then we achieve this thing. So you tell a story of zero to hero. So it's like an inertia, like, oh, wow. Then at the end, you pin them a plan with clear action points and triggers and call them to take a single action. So after my presentation, okay, what you can do, how we can do it, we have 3 packages, we have 3 paths, 3 ways, 3 direction, 3 points, 3 products, 3 services, or whatever. You can get them in this, or this, or you can get them in this, and this, or you can get them in this, and this, whatever. But you tell them that this is how you do it, how you can do it. You can do it in these 3 ways or these 3 steps. First step, you will see this. Second step, you will see that. The 4th step, you will see the other one, and boom, boom, boom. Right? And most importantly, if you are a sincere and honest guy, you will put them into your support system and you want to help them to succeed. Okay? Put them into your support system, right? That means you build a system for them, right? Invite them either to join your community, join your program, join your resources, join your team, join whatever, so that they have the highest chance of success. Because remember, okay, willpower supports discipline. Willpower will disappear. Okay, but if you have a community, a support system, a structure around them, their willpower disappear. Their discipline maintains because they have peer pressure to replace this missing item. Okay. All right. My favorite section: pro tips on motivation and inspiration. Okay. First thing. Okay, your greatest tool is your reputation. Okay, don't betray others with your words. Now, once you learn how to inspire and motivate people, you will realize that you will develop tremendous influence in your own circle and the circle that is extended from yours. Right? Is a great tool. Okay. So you have great influence. Right. However, okay, as you continue to develop your reputation will reach a point where you don't even need to do any kind of selling or sales. Now, check out my YouTube channel on my video, sales versus business development, and you will understand a bit what I'm talking about. But so your greatest tool is your reputation, right? Now, if you learn this skill and you start to betray people, put your interest before the interest of others, and you push your product or service out there, very soon, your reputation will be so bad, it's counterproductive to your wonderful sales technique. How does it look like? Very simple. Hey, this product, who's selling? Vernon is selling. Oh, Vernon is selling this product. Must be a bad product. I'm not even going to let him have a chance to tell me about this product because Vernon is associated with it. Example of how your reputation like actually becomes counter-ish to you, to what you're trying to do. Okay, so understand, whatever you learn from Clarity Edge or from my YouTube channel, please make sure you don't use it for your personal gain of interest first. Always put the gain and interest of others first. Make sure they benefit, make sure they grow, make sure they learn, make sure they become valuable, make sure they're appreciated. And then, how you can benefit can come later. Always create value for others first. Always create value for others in a sincere manner before you start to, talk to them about all these other extra bells and whistles about yourself. Okay, with great power comes great responsibility. Spider-Man's most cliche line. When you learn how to blend influence and motivation, you will be able to move mountains. Okay, you'll be able to create a lot of influence, right? You will have a lot of quote unquote power. Okay, so understand that this is very dangerous if placed in the wrong hands. You have a responsibility to make sure these concepts and skills do not fall into the wrong hands, or you do not use them for your own personal gain, benefit, or glory. Always try to make sure other people are more successful than yourself, because as some guru motivational speaker, I think Zig Ziglar once said, the secret to getting what you want is to help other people get what they want, and you will get what you want. Okay, help people to understand and inspire them to be the best version of themselves. These tools that you will learn has the potential to be life-changing. Okay, there have been people's lives who was changed by inspirational and motivational speakers and communicators. So it's very important that you have help them become the best person of yourself. Now, if you remember nothing, just remember this last line. Never put your personal gain before others. Only let others gain first. Your gain is optional. Your gain is secondary. Now, if you understand this perspective, you will realize that your reputation and your name alone will become a topic of inspiration, right? And even some motivation as well, if your story is well articulated enough and well repeated in the marketplace. All right, guys? Remember, your greatest tool is your reputation. Never jeopardize your reputation for anything. Especially, do not jeopardize your reputation for money. With great power comes great responsibility. Whatever you learn, whatever you can do, whatever you achieve, make sure you direct it only to the good of others. Help people understand and inspire them to be the best version of themselves. Help them to become more than who they can. Help them become more than what they can imagine themselves to be on their own. Never put your personal gain before others. Always create value for others first before seeking to extract any value for yourself. You will soon realize that this method will turn you into a core center of influence and a center of great blessing for many people. And inevitably, the blessings, of course, will come back to you. With that, my closing quote for today is, he who does more than what he is paid to do will soon be paid more for what he does not do. It's going to take a while for you to seek in, for this quote to sink in, and for you to truly understand what it means. But I hope if you finally unlock the meaning of this phrase, I hope it inspires you. I hope it motivates you. I hope you can strive to become a better person. And we can encourage each other. We can encourage each other. So if this message has touched your life, do let me know, because I too can be inspired by your life. With that, Clarity Seekers, thank you all very much for tuning in for yet another episode of Clarity Edge, helping you achieve clarity through simplicity and ultimately achieving profitability. Thank you all so much. Have a great Tuesday, a great week ahead. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I will see you all next week just before Christmas. Ciao.